So let's talk about how you came up with the idea for this business, this product. What were you doing at the time and where did the idea come from?
Yeah, so there's four co-founders, and I'm one of them, and we were all studying together in Brisbane, Australia, and we were at university together, and we were all living together as well. And there's kind of this quirky thing with Australian universities that definitely isn't the case here in the US, where there's a lot of businesses on the campus. There's like restaurants and bars and lolly shops and whatever. And most of them are owned by a student union and they're operated by students. So the bar where we used to hang out a lot was managed and fully operated by a bunch of students. And so we decided it'd be funny to become those students. So operating this bar, and it's like quite a legitimate, like big on-campus bar. The drinking age in Australia is 18, so bars on campuses are a big deal. And we employed, I'm going to say about 30, 40 people, all students as well. And we kind of found that no one came to work on time, like ever, which I guess wasn't that surprising. But what was more surprising was that this bar on a university campus was not profitable, was losing a lot of money. And so we tried to figure out why that was the case. And we sort of dug in. A lot of the issues were around people not being on time for work, people getting paid a lot of overtime that they didn't need to incur, just incorrect calculations of pay, like really boring administrative stuff. But two of the guys had finance degrees and they kind of really dug into this and figured this stuff out. And so we thought, well, we should start by at least making people record the hours they work. And we went to market to try to find a time clock, or some sort of time clocking system. And everyone's seen like the fingerprint scanner ones that are out there, but they seemed a bit lame. And we would need to have like an IT department run them because they all ran in-house back in the day. Anyway, long story short, we decided that, we could go buy a system or we could just do it ourselves and try and make our own system and see what happens. And so that's where I got involved. I was studying computer science. I wasn't as involved in the bar, except as a customer. And yeah, I sort of built this time clocking system, and we had this idea because everyone was trying to sell us fingerprint scanners, and they were like tens of thousands of dollars, and you needed to host all the software yourself. This was in 2012. We thought, well, the cloud is a thing, and it's not really that new anymore. But what is new is like tablets that run Android are getting kind of cheap, and you can buy them from any shop. And these days everyone uses iPads, but back then there was more competition. And we figured out that we could get an Android tablet, write some software for it, and then for like $250, we had a device that did the same thing as a $20,000 fingerprint scanner. And all the other software to see timesheets and everything else and like actually do payroll could run in the cloud. We wouldn't need to have an IT budget for it. So we went and built that. And at the time, it seemed really obvious to us, like all software should run in a browser. You shouldn't need to have fingerprint scans, that sort of stuff. But it seemed like the market hadn't really figured that out yet. So we felt like we were pretty far ahead of the curve, at least for companies the size that we were. Like we were 100 odd employees. So it was a decent sized operation. We set it up in the bar. It worked fine. Everyone got paid correctly. People came to work on time. And we then were like, well, we're graduating now. We could go apply for jobs or we could go do this. And so we decided to spend a year trying to sell this product to other businesses, which was a very slow year. But we did. I think that hypothesis turned out to be totally true of the fact that we can get commodity hardware that does something that you used to need specialized hardware for. And we can run 95% of the software, 99% really, in the cloud. And that, as silly as it sounds these days, that was like a really big and bold and brash statement in smallish town Australia in 2012. It was not something that people had been hearing from their vendors.